Board Executive Committee to order. The committee would like to welcome the audience, and viewers may watch live board committee meetings online at tcaps.net/board. Recorded meetings may be viewed on demand at the same address. This committee has set aside this time for public comment. Seeing no members of the public, there is no public comment. Procedural items, we have the draft meeting minutes of the agenda. Are there any changes to the minutes?
No.
Okay, no changes, minutes remain as posted. Getting on to the agenda review for the June 9th and the June 16th study session. Thanks, Dr. Van Wagner.
Okay, so we have our standard call to order pledge, our review approval of the agenda. For recognition, we have two recognitions. We have a group of outstanding educators that are nominated and sponsored by Northwest Ed and TBA Credit Union, as well as Traverse Connect. So we have a great group, I think if I remember right, 5, am I right on that, Ginger? 5 outstanding educators?
Yes, as long as
They're
you're
active.
including
The St. Francis.
the St.
Yeah, we have
Francis.
the shared time, our shared time teacher at St. Francis was also identified, so we will be celebrating those folks for the evening, and then later on in early June, there's a award ceremony, I believe the City Opera House generally is, to identify those folks, and then also we have our Compass Award winners. I do believe that Tammy has shared those out with the board. I know Eric and I had a conversation about making sure the board, knows ahead of time who those folks are, as they maybe see them before the board meeting or at the board meeting. So you should have that information as well on all of our new Compass Award winners. We will have our public hearing for the budget. So again, required under law, we have to have that public hearing open. It has no connection really with public comment, so people can do that and then do public comment for the kind of a second time, but for the meeting. So we will have that, then we will close that, then we will have our first public comment. The superintendent's report, both legislative and district. We'll have our committee reports for curriculum, finance, and executive, as well as a report out from office hours on May 22nd for the board. We will have our consent agenda as listed, which we do have purchases that were approved just by the finance committee earlier this morning. We will have our meeting minutes. We will have school safety update, and Ginger will be talking, and again, to the whole board, giving the update on safe route to schools. I know this is something the board has wanted to discuss, especially related to the Frankie Road corridor. So that is an opportunity for us to have a discussion on that and questions. And I have asked Christine to put some numbers together. I know for some questions that board members have had as well in that area. So we'll be prepared for that conversation. We will have, as the board has requested, a review of our current strategic plan. As I've updated the board, we are now working on a document that really has a green light, yellow, red, just to kind of show progress. Green being the strongest of progress, yellow being somewhat medium progress, and then the red is something maybe we haven't made really the progress that we would have liked to. And so we'll have some specific components and specific data related to each one of those that we'll present to the board. Then we have our resolution to amend our last budget amendment for the board as required by law for the current school year we're in. We'll have our resolution for a tax levy, resolution to approve the new 25-26 budgets, which are required by July 1. Even though, as I had mentioned in finance earlier, we are really in a state of disarray of really knowing at all what the budget's going to look like after last night. The Speaker of the House and the Michigan House of Representatives announced that their plan will have a $12,000 per student foundation, but yet eliminate many, if not all, of the categoricals. So we're not sure what that means. And so we were making our best educated thoughts on what the budget would look like, but I will tell you, I'm even more confused much more now than I was 24 hours ago. And then we have our second public comment. We have a closed session for negotiations. I do wanna back up actually. I do not see, Tammy, that was done in finance for the resolution for the grant,
The Rotary grant,
correct?
it has been added,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I sent it out
Good deal,
yesterday.
thank you. And so we have, so we do have that in, the discussion items as well.
Yeah.
We have, closed session for negotiations as required, under the Open Meetings Act. We have a closed session for our mid-year superintendent evaluation, which is new, this year. As again, my superintendent update, I updated the board on the process and plan for that information that will really feed well from the strategic plan goals and open session. And then we will have, come back into open session for board president closing remarks and adjournment.
Alright, so my only question, I guess, to the board members here is the order of things. I've had a couple of different requests to rearrange in different ways. One is to move I think everything in this should go relatively quick, except for potentially the strategic plan overview. I don't think we're gonna spend a ton of time on budgets because we don't have reliable numbers yet. So the strategic plan overview, and then obviously the closed sessions. I don't have a good solution to doing the closed sessions, specifically the superintendent quarterly evaluation, anywhere but at the end. But I know that frequently by the time we get there, it always seems to fall in long meetings sometimes, and we're all exhausted by the time we get there, and I feel like it's not the most conducive way to give feedback. But so it's more of a statement than a question. I don't know if there's any rearranging we want to do. Do we want to get all the easy or quicker items out of, I wouldn't say easy, but quicker items out of the way and move the current strategic plan overview to the end? Or would you want to deal with that like where it is right up front so everyone's fresher? Either way.
I mean, I'm okay the way it is.
Okay,
I have a feeling we're gonna have a lot of students maybe that are trying to get their government credit in, right?
Yeah.
Their meeting credits. I know mine just went to one last night.
Which if they should really be at the executive, I guess is early today, but usually that's the best one
Yeah,
to go to.
but they're
is
in
the
school.
executive.
They're in school,
Yeah, today
right?
it doesn't
So
work.
I know, so I think leaving the closed sessions at the end. I mean, I'm okay with the strategic plan where it is.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too. I really the one that I would love to move, but I can't, is the closed session, because obviously
Yeah.
that is, as soon as we go into that, it's the audience leaves, and
Yeah.
fairly so, because they have no idea when we'll be back. So
That's right.
I don't really. I would probably, if anything, try and to switch. I would like to switch 12 and because then again staff gets to leave. So after the negotiation portion, so like I'm okay how it is. It's not ideal, but I continually get feedback that leaving the
Superintendent
at the end is not good, but we have not come up with we've never discussed an alternative, and I don't have one within what I can do, because obviously I don't want to move it.
Well, the hard thing is the audience, right? I mean, because we go into a closed session and, they sit here for an hour.
Yeah.
And then we come back in to conduct the rest of our business. It just seems.
The only thing I can think of, which not for this one, is if we said, okay, we've got on the quarterly evaluations, we start the meeting an hour early.
At like 5, yeah.
5, go
Okay.
straight in the closed session, and we say that we're only going to be in there for an hour, and if we're done early, we could just recess until 6. So we start the rest of the meeting, so everyone knows, everyone doesn't have to come, because we're not going to even be in here, but it's part of the meeting, and it's done at the beginning.
I like that idea. Maybe try it at the next. We can't do it
No, I can't do it
on
this
this
one,
but on the next one.
I mean, everyone's schedules have to be work, but that is the only thing I've come up with other than doing it in a special meeting, which I don't think anyone does want to.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's our closed sessions on quarterly evaluations have been productive. I mean,
No, I do.
think if people come prepared and they know what they want to talk about, and but I'm willing to try something different too.
So I guess I can ask board members and to give me any feedback on that, I'll mention it at the next meeting. And just see, that will be my only suggestion that I've come up with, is to start the meeting at 5, go straight into closed session. If we're done at, we're done at, when we're done around 6, and if we're not done early, then we will just recess until 6. So,
Perfect.
Alright, so everything stands as posted right now, or suggested. Thanks, Sean. You go on to the next on the June 16th.
June 16th,
Okay.
yeah.
You there, John?
Oh, what's that again? Yeah, I lost
Sorry,
you.
June's, we're good as it stands. I'm gonna talk to board members about potentially doing future superintendent evaluations at 5. So we'll
Yeah.
open the meeting, start with that, but the public knows that they don't have to be here until 6.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah. Yeah, I think this one's a little wonky because the goals are the strategic plan goals and related. And I think it would, be almost redundant to do that and then go back over and do the presentation of the strategic plan goals. So I do think this time it will make it quicker, but this is a little bit of a unique situation, the way we're doing it.
Well, and this is the first time that we have a legally prescribed way we have to do this and come out of it, so I see this one a little bit more procedural than, we have to jump through these areas and learn how to do it, and so it'll be a little different of an evaluation anyway, so I don't think it's gonna be the
John,
normal.
but you're not talking about switching it for the June 9th meeting, are you?
No.
I am not.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood what you
He's
just said,
saying
okay.
he's saying it's
A little
good, right?
wonky for us, what I'm saying, but I do think in the future,
Got
Scott and I have talked a little bit about this, and
Okay.
One of the things that we had talked, with different folks, so actually a conversation we had with Tim Quinn before he had passed, was about the idea of trying to do it either the beginning of the meeting, outside, or even its own meeting to be able to have a little bit more concrete, time to have conversation and even maybe, if I need to bring staff in for different, plans or thoughts, as a part of my evaluation, that would allow it. So I think this is a good idea in the future.
So with that, June 16th, moving on to June 16th.
Okay, well done. Pull that up.
I can go through it, it's an easy
Yeah, go ahead.
So on June 16th, obviously call to order in the Pledge of Allegiance, reviewing the approval of the agenda, public comment, any consent items, which will most likely just be regular board meeting minutes. And then the main is the study session on the strategic plan, and then closing out with public comment, board president closing remarks. And a reminder that this meeting is at Northwest Ed again on Red Drive.
And starts at 5.
It starts at 5, thank you. So that's the agenda for June 16th. Any changes to that?
And I just wanna make sure that we're on the same page for that. Now that we're doing strategic plan update, at the regular June meeting, the board, we've decided that we'll have Jesse and Dan maybe at some point later, with, after the board identifies goals. So we really are just moving forward with Nick's, regular process moving forward, correct?
That is my understanding from the board right now, yeah. Okay, with no other changes, then we move on to information items, HR, deferring to Connie Taylor.
Thank you very much. As you know, this afternoon, we will be celebrating our 40 retirees from the district. That's a large number. Unfortunately, at this point in time, it sounds like only 12 are gonna be able to be in attendance, but we'll still take the opportunity to celebrate all of them. Doors will be opening at 4:30 at Montessori Building. At 4:50, our music vocal majority from Central High School will be performing, and then shortly thereafter, we'll start the recognition ceremony. But also at 4:30, we've got a number of very generous, outstanding local donors who've provided food and beverage and ice cream for everyone. So we hope many of you are able to come and recognize the over 943 years of collective service for between all 40 retirees. Moving on to our staffing update, as we've talked about, with our 40 retirees, also additional normal resignations, people moving out of the area, we have begun our staffing early this year. So we are, I would like to say, significantly ahead of schedule, which is outstanding. It's allowed us really to get a tremendous pool of applicants. We'd already extended 19 offers for teachers in terms of hires. We have one special ed vacancy remaining that we're still looking for candidates for, but that's good because we started, I believe, with like 6. So we're very happy with the progress that we're making. We have 5 elementary vacancies that we are looking to fill. We use a new screening system. We've been doing it for the last few years. It's called Spark Hire. And so it's our way to send out to individuals that questions that they do on video. So it's our initial screening process. So for candidates that we're interested in, they do a Spark Hire video. Our principals are then able to view those videos and then identify those folks that we want to bring back for in-person. And we're going to be doing those next week for the elementary positions. We also have an administrative vacancy. Mark Connors is moving back to South Carolina, which is a big loss to our district, but certainly understanding that's where we got him from South Carolina. They're looking to move back to the warmer weather, I believe, which has created an assistant principal vacancy for us over at West Middle School. And we are right now in the process of getting applications and sending out Spark Hire videos to those individuals, and also hoping to have interviews for those next week. So feeling really good about where we are from a staffing standpoint. Kudos to our building administrators and the HR staff for getting ahead of it this year. Inevitably, we know that we will likely still be doing some hiring in the summer, but at a really great place at this time as we close out the school year. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Communications update, deferring to Ginger Smith.
Thank you. So just wanted to let you know that we have finalized the Sunshine bus schedule for the summer. It always takes a little bit of work to make all the contacts with all the locations and ensure that the bus can fit where it needs to fit, all those good details. So just publicly want to state that we will begin service on Wednesday, June 16, and go through August 25 with no service the week of July 4. On Wednesdays, we will be at Tradewind Terrace from 12:30 to 1:30, followed by Traverse Heights Elementary from 2 to 3. On Thursdays, 11:45 to 12:15 at Meadow Lanes, 12:40 to 1:40 in the Interlaken Plaza, and 2 to 3 at Blair Elementary. Finally, on Friday, we will be at Kings Court from 11:45 until 12:15. 12:45 to 1:30 at the Zimmerman Gateway, I'm not sure if that's how you say that, intersection, and then 2 to 3 at Silver Shores. So that will be posted to our website by tomorrow, and then you'll see all the posters getting put up around town as well in the upcoming days. That's all I have.
Awesome, thanks. It's really appreciate the Sunshine bus for sure. Okay, any other items?
I think so.
Okay, then the next board executive committee meeting will be Thursday, July 10th at 4 p.m. in this room and televised. With that, I will adjourn the meeting. Thanks.
Perfect.